The fall semester is underway, and so is Temple football. It's a big week as a nationally ranked opponent is coming to Lincoln Financial Field.
The Owls face their biggest test of the season as they host number 13th ranked Oklahoma in a battle of two unbeatens.
And I'm Julia Green, live at Temple Sports Complex. Temple women's soccer is about to have a rare weekday matinee game versus South Florida. I'll have an update.
Also live from the studio set, I'm Samantha Ammons. There are a lot of new faces on the women's cross-country team. Later in the show, we'll look at this new dynamic. OwlSports Update is live and starts right now.
Hello and welcome to our first edition of OwlSports Update of the semester. With a new semester comes another new anchor duo. I'm Jackson Batchler.
And I'm Emily Notaris. Fall sports are underway, and it's the football team that has been stealing the spotlight. The Owls have won their first two games of the season, which they haven't done since 2019. But it's about to get much, much tougher. Temple football is back at home this Saturday for its third non-conference game, but this time the big boys are in town. The nationally ranked Sooners are coming to Lincoln Financial Field. Both teams come in with perfect records at 2-0. Oklahoma does most of its damage in the air with Heisman hopeful and quarterback John Mateer. Temple has been more effective on the ground, which is surprising considering the Owls haven't had a productive run game in years. And yes, both teams have the same record, but remember, the Sooners have a top 25 win against Big Ten Power Michigan, while the Owls have fed off of UMass and Howard. And the crew in Vegas knows it. They have Temple as a 24.5-point underdog.
There's a lot of excitement in the building. I think we feel good that training camp through the first 2 weeks of the season we've progressed, and now we get a chance to get a major test against the top 15 team that is an historic program.
Guys, we can play all downs, and I feel like as long as we keep doing what we've been doing, we'll be successful the whole rest of the year doing that.
Evan is a great leader, I would say that, and he knows where to put the ball at, and that just makes our offense way better.
How did we get here, you ask? Let's get back to this past Saturday in the home opener for Temple versus an FCS opponent in the Howard Bison. The Owls were in complete control from the get-go. In the first quarter, Therese Worthy gets the give, and he cuts back, sheds a tackle, and finds his way into the end zone to make it 7-0 Owls. Later on in the quarter, Owls still up 7-zip. Play action for Evan Simon. He initially looks off JoJo Bermudez, but then finds him wide open in the end zone as Temple extends its lead to 2 scores. Play action again for the Owls as Simon connects with Colin Chase as he takes it in for his first touchdown as a member of the Cherry and White. 21-0 Owls after a quarter. To open up the second quarter, the Bison take it 75 yards down the field and get on the board as Tyreek Starks finds a wide open Katie Mosley for 6. We head to the third quarter, the Owls getting pressure, and Tyreek Starks is taken down by Cameron Stewart for his second sack of the afternoon. Jay Ducker continues to impress. He gets some outstanding blocks from his offensive line and does the rest as he's into the end zone for his first house call as an Owl. And in the fourth quarter, Carl Harden knocks down the 31-yard field goal attempt, and the Owls dominate in their home opener as they defeat Howard 55-7.
OwlSports Update Sophia Martin was at the link on Saturday, and she breaks down the defensive line and how they've drastically improved this year compared to last. Hey, Sophia.
Thanks, Emily. It makes sense that Evan Simon is getting most of the headlines, but Temple's defense is an improved group 2 weeks into the season, especially with the work it did against Howard.
The best case scenario for most college football programs is to see a big jump in success between games 1 and 2. And that's exactly what happened with the Owls in their lopsided win over Howard. There were improvements on both sides of the ball, especially the defense.
Our defensive line is like a handful. And so, I think everyone we play at our level, group of 5, so I think it's going to struggle with our defensive line because not only do we have talent there, we have numbers there.
Temple's Week 1 defense was good, giving up 302 total yards. But the team's defense in week 2 was excellent, allowing Howard only 121 yards of offense.
After looking at week 1, Coach Keeler wanted to see improvements from the defense in game 2, and that is what he got. Cameron Stewart had 2 sacks, helping the defense force 6 3-and-outs and 6 tackles for a loss in the win.
We talked a lot about this second game. We had to grow. There had to be things that, we didn't get quite done the first week. We had to get done this week.
It's not going to be easy for the Owls in week 3. To think the defense might give up the same numbers against Oklahoma as what we saw against Howard isn't very realistic. But there's no question. Through 2 games, the Owls are playing better ball that fans have seen for a very long time.
The Owls have forced 3 turnovers in its 2 games. The turnover battle will be key for Temple on Saturday against Oklahoma. Live from the studio set, I'm Sophia Martin. Back to Emily and Jackson on the desk.
It's been close to a perfect start for the Owls in the Casey Keeler era, but Temple is entering what could arguably be the biggest test of the season in the number 13th ranked Sooners. We are now joined by Inside the Nest, Pat Dallahan, to break down the upcoming challenge.
So, Pat, first question for you. Let's talk about John Mateer here. Obviously, it's been a pretty great start for the Washington State transfer. I mean, we're talking over 600 yards, passer rating over 160 in 2 games. What does this Owls defense need to do to stabilize him?
Well, Casey Keeler talked about it this week. They need to put a body on him. They need to keep him in the pocket, and they need to make the hits add up as the game goes on. He's more comfortable throwing on the run, specifically when he's going to his right. So they just need to take him out of his rhythm. They need to make him feel these hits early. They need to get on him early and often and make him be a decision maker in the pocket. Dual threats aren't always the smartest throwers of the football, but John Mateer has proven that he's exactly that so far.
Pat, Evan Simon has the highest passer rate in the country right now. What do you think that's going to look like this weekend with a much more talented defensive unit?
So you guys talked about it. They've fed off of UMass and Howard in the first 2 games. Going from playing a team in the MEAC and the MAC to a team in the SEC that's a college football playoff hopeful is like going from playing in Little League to playing in the major leagues. The game is so much faster. The players are smarter. They're coached better. They're better athletes. Oklahoma's defense alone probably has 4 or 5 NFL players, not just this year, but in the future. So Temple really needs to try and slow the game down, simplify the offense for Evan Simon, and let him make little throws that'll move the offense forward incrementally.
So, Pat, it's been the talk of campus this week, obviously. The hot mic incident with the beat reporter basically saying that playing Temple is basically a high school game. If you're Brett Venables and this Oklahoma staff, I'm sure you just cannot like hearing that whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a tough look for those beat reporters for sure. But as far as Venables goes and as far as the program goes, they can't control what the media says about them. Now, David Stone, their best player on defense, came out and said they need to be careful or else they're going to find out with Temple. Right? Temple is a talented team, very well coached. Casey Keeler ranked a top 100 coach in the history of college football. Temple's a very well-coached team, and who knows, anything can happen. This is a weird situation for Oklahoma. If they lose, congrats, you lost to Temple. And if they win, congrats, you beat Temple. It's a lose-lose situation for Oklahoma. So for Temple, they need to look at that and put a target on Oklahoma's back. They're disrespecting you. They're disrespecting your fans. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? And that should be the message in the Temple locker room going forward.
Well, Pat, as always, thank you for your knowledge. You can catch Pat and the rest of the Inside the Nest crew every Tuesday at noon, live on TUTV.
It's time for us to take our first break of the show. Coming after the break, we'll take a look at Temple's 3-1 field hockey team and a certain player who has grown into a strong leader over the years.
Women's soccer just kicked off versus South Florida right behind me here at Temple Sports Complex. I'll talk about it later in the show. OwlSports Update will be back in just 90 seconds.
Welcome back. It's been a bit of a tough start for women's soccer. Women's soccer is ranked last in the AAC with a 2-6 non-conference record. The good news is that the conference slate starts today with South Florida, a team that also sits below 500 in non-conference play at 3-4.
This women's game was a noon start at the Temple Sports Complex.
And that's where we find OwlSports Update Julia Green. Hey, Julia.
Hey guys, so game just got started here versus South Florida. It's a 12 o'clock matinee first conference matchup for these two AAC teams. Now, last matchup against these teams resulted in a 1-0 win for South Florida. Now, great save behind me. You can hear the audience applauding it. It is still a 0-0 game right now. And once this game ends, the Owls will have a week to rest before they're back in action. Now, next week they'll take on Tulsa on the road on Thursday. Live from Temple Sports Complex, I'm Julia Green. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Julia. It took 7 matches, but the Temple volleyball team finally hosted its first event of the season with Villanova in town. And it wasn't the outcome the Owls were hoping for. Before their busy weekend on the road, Temple volleyball had its hands full. Villanova came into this match at 5-0 against the Temple team sitting at 3-3. First set, Nova and the Dark Unis, the Wildcats get the kill and take the first set 25-13. And that set the tone for the evening. Temple did play much better in the second set, falling by just 2 at 28-26, but it never got closer in the third and final set as the Wildcats remain undefeated on the year with the 3-set sweep.
It's been a solid start for field hockey as the Owls are 3-1 through 4 games. It's their best start since 2022. A big part of their early success can be attributed to leaders like senior captain, number 14, Augustina Tucheri.
Many college athletes join their programs with the goal of being a team leader. It took Augustina Tucheri 3 years to get there, but the senior midfielder has taken the lead on one of Temple's most successful fall teams. Tucheri came into the 2025 season as a captain and a member of the 2025 preseason Big East team.
As a leader, I want to push everyone to be their best version of themselves, and if they have a bad day or whatever, I want to be there for them, push them themselves.
From day one, playing time was never the issue. Tucheri has started 55 games in her first 3 seasons, and her work has paid off for the Owls.
Last season, Tucheri sent the Owls to their first Big East Conference Championship appearance since 2015, thanks to a double overtime goal to make it 2-1 over Old Dominion.
Every tournament, she's made a pretty big impact in terms of like contribution in scoring goals. But I think overall, her leadership, she's great. She's passionate. The girls love her.
And it's continued this season. Tucheri has 2 assists in 2025 and is near the team lead in minutes per game. The Owls have yet to win the conference championship in their 12 seasons as members of the Big East. Now, as a senior, it's Tucheri's final time to break through. It's something she shared with 4 other seniors on the team.
We want the Big East championship and being able to be that beacon of energy and high expectations and accountability and support for our teammates.
I want the best for the team, so I hope I can always show to them my determination on the field.
Seniors such as Tucheri may be the leaders for field hockey, but for other fall sports, that is not necessarily the case.
OwlSports Update Sam Amons is live at the studio set to break down the new look women's cross country team. Hey, Sam.
Yes, coming up, Temple's women's cross country team is full of fresh faces. With only 3 returners, these young veterans are ready to lead a new season. That story is coming up when OwlSports Update returns in just 90 seconds. Welcome back. I'm OwlSports Update's Samantha Amons at the studio set to talk about cross country. With only 1 full collegiate season on her resume, Amelia Sabatino is already handling a seniority role, often reserved for upperclassmen. It's not often that a sophomore on any college athletic team is the veteran, but that's the case for Amelia Sabatino, now in her 2nd season at Temple.
I was number 1, which is kind of an odd position for a freshman to be in, and then I'm a sophomore and I'm team captain, so still having that leadership position. I just love having a team behind me.
With 3 returners and 6 freshmen, Temple's women's cross-country team looks very different this season. The challenge now? Building leadership and finding their identity on and off the course. The Owls are very young, thanks to many runners leaving via the transfer portal, and that left coach Riley Buchholz with the task
of building a new team.
So, trying to figure out how to put it all together is definitely our biggest challenge, but we're putting it together really, really well. We're molding into a really great team, and I'm excited to see where we end up in the next 2 to 4 years with where we're going.
Temple has had one meet so far, at home, and finished 5th out of 7 teams. Next is a weekend trip to Penn State. The conference championships aren't until November 1st.
Which is definitely doable. We have some incredible girls, and they've worked really hard so far. We're entering a really big training block, and for me personally, just kind of hopefully take some time off my 6K, maybe 22 minutes, something like that.
Lots of youth, but lots of talent that begins with Sabatino at the start line.
That Temple Invitational back on August 29th is the Owls' only home meet this season. This upcoming weekend, it's off to Penn State, and the conference championships are in North Carolina in November. I'm Samantha Ammons, live at the studio set. Jackson and Emily, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. The Owls have a busy weekend ahead. On Friday, cross country, field hockey, volleyball, and soccer are all in action. Saturday's a big day for football with its matchup against Oklahoma, while volleyball is on the road. And Temple wraps up the weekend with field hockey and volleyball Sunday afternoon, both teams again on the road.
You can catch OwlSports Update every Thursday at noon, as well as our football show, Inside the Nest, every Tuesday, also at noon, with both airing live on TUTV. You can also tune into our weekly sports briefs, which are posted every Monday at noon on our X account, along with our Instagram account at OwlSports Update. That is all the time that we have for today. Don't forget to look out for us all weekend long, covering Temple Athletics on social.
From everyone here at TV Studio 3 in Annenberg Hall, he's Jackson Batchler. I'm Emily Notaris. Have a great day.